Alrighty then. I was muted for like 15 seconds and didn't realize it. That was fun. But hey, we're streaming. Look at us. Look at us. It's magic, people. Modern technological magic. Never before seen. But yeah, now we're here. We're doing. This time we're going to do it. We're going to actually do it. We're going to stream Disco Elysium in like an hour. All right, let's start here. Bam. All right. So here's the 411, folks. Um, an interesting phenomenon that I've definitely noticed in terms of like when my streams actually get watched is people don't show up until an hour in. I think that's just a thing. I think that's just like a quirk of, I don't know, how YouTube works, or like just how streaming works or whatever, but I don't know. It does I've done like tests with this, just like streaming at a different time and seeing if people show up at the same time on the clock, or if they show up an hour into the stream no matter when the stream is. And it seems to be the latter. Uh I don't know. I'm learning this as I go. Probably somebody else who has done this and actually researched it and knows how to do this better could be like, "Oh yeah, nah, that's how that works." An hour in, that's how that always works. Um, and there you have it. But yeah, so we're gonna do an hour of this before we get to the main event. All right. Hang on one tick. I don't want you to see how many other worlds I have. I'm not embarrassed about it at all. Alrighty. That is a horse noise that scared me for a minute. Alright. So here we are. My little starter house, my little starter self. My little starter bags of random crap I've found. These. Alright. I always have to... I'm just playing Valheim, and that's press E to interact with everything, as opposed to press E to check your inventory, so gotta readjust. So we got that going. Fuck you. We got this going. We got this going. Okay, so this is where we're at. The gimmick here, if you haven't watched my other streams that have focused on this gimmick, is we're trying to do environmentalism in Minecraft. We're trying to live in harmony with nature in Minecraft. And so that looks like building in a way that is, you know, it has the aesthetic of harmoniousness, you know. And also, when applicable, kind of building for spatial efficiency, building for not terraforming the world in a way that, you know, ruins resources. Replanting the trees we harvest, things like that. Alright. Let's actually do something rather than just take stock. So, I'm setting up this house, trying to make it look nice. Need some more dirt. That's where we're at. We're just getting this camp set up. I desperately need a few things. One of them is my head is turning right now. I could use some redstone. That's the main thing I need. We did some exploring. We did some raiding of chests, which are not part of the environments. We can just take stuff from those. It's great. Um, but if we're really gonna, really stretch our legs here, we need to actually have an idea of like where we've been and where we're going. We're gonna need maps. Oh, hey, look, something on the ground. Lovely. All right, so I had a mine going somewhere. Is it down here? Ow. Hey, big fella, how you doing? Ah! As you can see, I'm very good at combat in this game. You hear that? There's a cave, like, right there. Jesus. Actually, I think there is. I'm pretty sure. Hmm. It's another cave I started mining at. Yeah, we're gonna do some boring stuff at the top. Well, relatively boring. Do some cave exploration. See if we can't find, where was it that I started that mine? Started digging somewhere. It wasn't here, but let me just get this while I'm at it. There's a lot of little caves in this valley that I'm in. The positive of that is there's a lot of little caves in this valley that I'm in, but the negative is start mining in one of them, and I can't remember which one. Oh well. It was here. I had a back door to this huge mouth that I opened. I might as well just go in the front entrance. Hey, big fella, how you doing? Up. I need to work on my blocking in this game. I'm definitely not gonna die. Look, I've got multiple hearts. It's fine. Alrighty then. Now we started going down into the deep slate of this cave, but we pulled back because we did it too much. Do I have any sticks on me? Oh well. Got enough torches for now, and we can pop up and get some sticks. It's a nice thing about having a bamboo farm is you get sticks for days. Hey, fellas. All right. Yeah, I really just gotta hit them when they're further out. Really hard to judge, isn't it? Alrighty then. Dripstone. Sing hallelujah. Look at that. Look at that. Is this gonna... Do I need... I need iron. Okay. We know where it is, and I've already wasted some of it, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, shit. I'm not sticking around. Screw that. We know where the redstone is. It's down here. I'm just going to put... Bam. Double torch. Tells me where it is. And we're also closing my window. Because there is a car alarm outside. The perks of living in a city. Hopefully you can't hear it. My noise gate on this thing is really good. There's been a lot of sounds that I have heard, and it's like, oh my god, that's going to ruin the stream. And it just doesn't. But you never know. You never know when a car alarm is going to seep through your microphone onto the internet. And then the world will know that there is a car alarm in your vicinity. Alright. So we have... How many iron? Really? I could have sworn I mined more than just 3. Well, I got some back at the house, unless I've gone completely crazy and it's not there. I'm pretty sure I already have an iron pickaxe, but either way, you know, I'll drop this off. Get some sticks for additional torches. Yeah, I know, pig. That's what I'm saying. Should probably corral those guys later. Alrighty then. This is my bread loadout, by the way. Ba-bam. Look at that. Knocking him dead. Alright. Do I want to expand this at all? Nah, not right now. So something I'm planning on doing once I get to a phase where I kind of start automating things is start automating things. I've got my own philosophy when it comes to see, what did I tell you? I'm not crazy. Probably. I never put that away. Alright. Bam. There we are. Look at that. Alright. Let's go get some redstone if it's not too late in the day. How late in the day is it? It's late in the day. Alright. But no, I got a philosophy when it comes to sustainability. I do think that tech-based solutions have their place, but the problem is that you have to do a lot of other things, right? You can't just, like, technology your way out of an environmental problem. But it is a useful tool. For instance, something that you can do in real life and in Minecraft, and I'm going to do it here, is more... Damn, how do you say it? I don't know how to say it other than technological farms. I'm talking about hydroponics and vertical farming here. And hydroponics and vertical farming, I want to, because you say hydroponics, people get a very general image in their mind, and it's like, yeah, that's most of what vertical farming is that kind of hydroponics, but not entirely though. I'm gonna put some cobblestone on. I want some raw stone. Ba-bam! Look at that. Not entirely, though. You know, there's other kinds of vertical farming that isn't hydroponic. There are other substrates that are used rather than just sticking the roots in water, depending on the plant, you know. Sometimes you do put them in dirt. Sometimes you don't put them in anything. Like with potatoes, one of the things you can do is like, this is a distinction that only matters to me because I'm choosing to be technical about it, but aeroponics, where you don't put it in water, you spritz it with a fine mist and you just let the roots hang. Potatoes grow, potatoes will do anything, but the potatoes grow very good that way, and it saves even more water is the point. Um, I'm hoping that I can find the cave entrance again. Is it here? My trusty bread will keep me company through thick and thin. Oh, no, I know where it is. But yeah, so as I was saying. Yeah, so like say you want to say vertical farming and hydroponics differently, and for those that don't know, the completely uninitiated, don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Vertical farming and hydroponics. Hydroponics is just growing plants in basically these growing them in this big kind of like high-tech rig. Not really high-tech. It's a dish with water, basically in a pipe. You cut holes in a pipe and you grow the plants on the holes in the pipe. And you can do very complicated stuff like that. You can have whole big trays and you can stack the trays on top of each other. And basically you have it, it's kind of, like it's like high-tech industrial farming, but it really isn't though, because the thing is that like you can use computerized systems to manage stuff like the water and the nutrients that you put in the water. Because obviously you don't just do pure water; you put nutrients in it. And there's always tech stuff in the back end. But honestly, on the front end, you can go. It's like a way to like do organic stuff easier as well. Alrighty, here we go. Because the thing is, like, the advantages of hydroponics are so many. Hydroponics uses less water than traditional farming because you're delivering the water direct to plant. Aeroponics, even less. Geoponics, who gives one? But also less water than traditional farming in the ground and the outside. You also have the thing where you really don't need pesticides. Ooh, look at this. If you're an OG Minecrafter, you know exactly what this is. Also, if you haven't lived under a rock, yeah, let's get that real. Fuck. You know what? Come here. Bam. Second Amendment. Wait a second. Second Amendment? There we go. I hit him in the face with it the first time. That was a little... Okay, there we go. I forgot which button I needed to use to fire. I mean, it is pretty effective. Whoa, Jesus. To just hit the guy in the face, I will say. Punk shot. Whoop. As you can see, I'm taking the very cinematic, entertaining route to take out the skeleton. I'm a very brave man. Hi, spider. Hi, multiple spiders. Ow. Alright. And destroy you. I shouldn't have done that, but it's too late. Yeah, no, if Minecraft pro tip, again, if you've lived under a rock for the past 10 years or are 9 years old, you can completely surround spawners with torches and prevent what's in them from spawning. And that means that at a future date, you can use that spawner to kind of farm. Oh, sweet Jesus. Again, you can see I'm a very brave man. Just blow up, will you? Thank you. Sometimes better just bite the bullet with creepers. Yeah, I know, I can hear you. I really lost the plot here. This little side cave. Let's turn back. Because I'm just down here for the redstone. I already got the redstone. Let's get this mossy cobble. I think mossy cobble degenerates over time when exposed to light. I think I haven't checked in 10 years, and I don't want to. So here we are. But anyway, no. Yeah, you don't have to do GMOs, and you don't have to do pesticides or insecticides with hydroponics because you're growing them typically in a warehouse environment where if you want to do pest control, you're not spraying the plants, you're setting up roach motels around the perimeter. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to spray anything on the plants, which you shouldn't have to do with outdoor farming anyway. But Green Revolution, etc., etc. By the way, if you don't know, the Green Revolution in the 70s, population globally was exploding. People were like, "Oh my God, how are we going to feed all these people?" They temporarily increased crop yields with things like pesticides and I think early GMOs. Um, and chemical fertilizers. And the simple fact of the matter is that that worked at the time. However, it doesn't need it to work for the long term, and it doesn't. There's been a lot of things with environmental degradation that have come from the pesticides they use, and they don't need to use them. There's other longer term solutions that we can use to keep the same amount of crop yields we have now, if not increase them. And by the way, if you don't know this, we only need about half the crops we grow. Um, Supply chains have a lot of inefficiencies. Some of them can be addressed. Some of them I think are just inherent to the fact that food goes bad. However, there are things we could do, not from a like free market standpoint. Unfortunately, we would have to get like government planning involved, which people make a big deal out of that. But like the economy is facilitated. I don't want to get political, but the economy is facilitated by the government. It just is. Like everything gets subsidies. It's not really a politically radical thing to say, hey, what if the government made this industry more efficient through programs? That's really not a radical position. Where am I? It's not even, it's like a liberal position, like corporate liberal, like the most milquetoast, spineless form of liberal they can be. The only reason why they don't do that stuff is because the corporations won't let them because they're spineless. But anyway, the point is that tangent. I'm like 3 tangents deep. The point is, hydroponics are a thing you can do, and there's a lot of advantages to them. They use less water, they're more spatially efficient, because you're stacking the plants, so you can grow more in less space. The only real drawback is you need to really reap the benefits of hydroponic farming. You want to use grow lights, which replicate the full spectrum of sunlight. Plants grow the same, if not better, in grow lights, just because you can do them 24/7. They get 24 hours of sunlight. The drawback to that is that if you do all that stuff, you are using as much electricity as like a light factory in your farm. So you need to build it in you want to build it close to the city anyway, because ideally, you can do like direct farm to table stuff. You don't have to have a long supply line. You can sell directly to the consumer. But yeah, still though, it's like it's a strain on the grid. A lot of electricity is being used, but we can do solar panels. Solar panels are a thing we have. We can just do that. 5 head. Anyway, yeah, can you do everything with hydroponics? No, but you can do a lot with hydroponics, especially if you're talking about where is he? I don't even know where he is. Anyway, moving on from that, I saw gold somewhere. If I could get gold, that'd be great because I have enough redstone for a compass, a map, and wait for it, a clock. We'll do a little bit more torching. Oh, there's the gold. I knew I had it. The gold was within us all along. It gets really deep over here. Is there more gold? I don't know. Ow. Oh! Oh my god. I heard his footsteps. And I stopped. Oh, sweet, sweet mother of pearl. Alright, yeah, let's get out of here. Minecraft is not a scary game. Minecraft is not a scary game. Minecraft is not a scary game. Okay. But no, anyway, hydroponics chat over. The last sentence in it is you could do hydroponics in Minecraft, and I'm going to do hydroponics in Minecraft, and that's going to be part of my farming. In my opinion, the real solar punk thing is to use multiple overlapping systems to achieve a specific societal goal, with the idea being that the systems balance each other and not compensate for, that's the wrong word, but complement, question mark, he says, unsure, the drawbacks of one another. You can't do 100% vertical farming. You need to do some... Ooh, more redstone. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. I heard something. Alright. Sweet Jesus. Here's a Minecraft tangent. Switching gears. Man, creepers, dude. Why creeper no have alert sounds? Why? They're the quietest enemy in the game. They make noise when they walk a little bit, but it's not very pronounced. And they don't have, like, the zombies have their growl, the spiders have their spider noise, the skeletons have their bone sounds. They have specific sounds that alert you to their presence. The creepers don't. The creepers don't. They sneak up on you, and you can... No matter where you are in the game, no matter what you're doing, if you get unlucky, you can get one-shotted by a creeper. Early game. It's crazy to me that they have... Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that smug bastard. Hi, spider. Ignore me. Ignore me. Ignore me. I told you to ignore me. I said ignore me. Alright. You don't want to ignore me. It would have been way cooler if I'd one-shotted him. Too bad. The hell was I saying? You're gonna want to take out the creeper for reasons. Shit. Nice. How many black powder do I have saved up right now? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no, it's... In hindsight, it is crazy that creepers are in this game. I don't think that... If they made this game today, look... I mean, I'm doing, like, my weird goofy voice to underscore how corny it is. I'm about to make this argument, but if they made this game today, I don't know if they would have made creepers. I don't know if when I say that, what I mean is Minecraft is now like a multi-million-dollar company in and of itself, and is owned by Microsoft, a multi-billion-dollar company and one of the biggest in the world. And I don't know if in that environment the creeper exists. I don't know if that environment leads there to be creepers, period. The environment that creepers were created in was, you know, one guy, Notch, three guys, Notch and Jeb, and, you know, the early development was not just Notch. Like, early development was just Notch. But, you know, the other guys came in pretty quick. But yeah, early development was just, like, this small team who were not operating in a space that was optimized for, like, what Minecraft quickly became, which is docile spider. Hello, daytime spider. I'm gonna leave you be. You know what? You daytime spiders get a bad rap. You get to live until the sun goes down, at which case things will get very difficult for both of us, I'm afraid. Alright, the one thing that I didn't get that I meant to get in that cave was dirt. I meant to get... Oh, wait, and actually, never mind, I got some. Hello, friendly spider. Hello, not friendly zombie. Die. Alright, this is worth noting. I need to torch up my tree forest. My tree farm. I need to torch it up. Creeper. Aw, man. I'm making these references to old Minecraft stuff from my youth, and I legitimately have no idea if a modern audience would even get it. It's crazy how long this game has lasted. The typical, like, life cycle of a game is, like, 2 to 3 years. He can live for now. Oh! You can't live! He smelled blood! It's too late! He's required a taste for it! Alright. This is a very peaceful game, Minecraft. But no, yeah, games, like, tend to go out of style after a while, you know? Like, with rare exceptions, and Minecraft is one of them. Like, even compared to the other stuff that's, like, lasted the test of time, like Skyrim, and how people still play Skyrim after how many years? Like, a decade, if not more? You know, Skyrim has its fans. It's a mainstream game, but, like, in its sort of, like... in its, like, intermittent period where, you know, new Elder Scrolls stuff is not coming out, the game is just receiving mod updates, you know? People are playing it. People are playing it. It's, you know, still popular in meme culture, but what's the number of people playing Skyrim now, or the Oblivion like remaster probably has a lot more people playing Skyrim right now than usual, but pre-Skyrim, pre-Oblivion remaster, how many people are playing it versus peak, right? Compare that... Jesus, that's loud. I like it, but it's loud. I hope it's not too loud of the mix. Nah, we're fine. Man, listen to that. It's fitting music. What the heck was I saying? Yeah, no, like, look at Skyrim at non-peak versus Minecraft at non-peak. Where, like, yeah, you still get people playing Skyrim, and you still get popular memes out of Skyrim. But some of the biggest YouTubers still play Minecraft on the regular. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I have an excuse. I'm doing it because I wanted to do this kind of like solar punk environmentalism gimmick. Environmentalism architecture gimmick, more like. And it's like something I had on my computer already, you know? But no, like, I said, like, again, it's down from its heyday. We're not exactly in, like, you know, the heyday of, like, Minecraft definitely had, like, a dark period that we're kind of coming out of, and it's sort of, like, resurging, you know? But still, though, it's, like, an order of magnitude larger and more popular and more relevant, even in its downtime. I've got 2 axes? Let me combine these. Ba-bam. Do that for these as well. No, actually, not right now. Yeah, it's crazy, folks. This is the most downloaded video game of all time. Just gonna burn some of these leaves. Is this environmental? No. However, these are annoying. It's probably the only time I'm gonna do this, because I just remembered that scaffolds exist, and I can build some of those for the next time. It's worth it to get the saplings out of those big floating leaf balls that remain when you track down the big oaks. But, yeah, like you see, there's that log all the way up there. You need, like, in order to do that, like, pain-free without a hassle, you need scaffolds. You need scaffolds, folks. Alright. We're making a shovel. We're really locking in to make that shovel. That's why I made that noise. I was concentrating. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, no, Minecraft, popular Minecraft. Like, Dream, and even now Camman18, like, still make very popular content on this game. Ow. It's crazy, folks. They really caught lightning in a bottle. I'm marking out my tree placements with paved soil. This is something that I like to do, because it means that I'm not going to mess it up when I plant them again. Now the question is it very solar punk of me to clear cut my tree farm completely every time it's up for harvest? And the answer is not really. So what I'm probably going to do, if I expand this any more than I have already, because like that's a pretty big stack of wood, I could keep it at like basically this size, just a little bit bigger, and fulfill my wood needs for now if I'm just like harvesting it as it grows and building up a stockpile. But that having been said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once it gets a little bit bigger than this, what I'm going to do is subdivide it. I'll have multiple, probably 5 by 5, with a little bit of variance for terrain. But yeah, have subdivisions that are separated by a little bit more length to get more leaf gaps. And the idea is to harvest them on a rotation, which is better than completely clear-cutting the entire area. Both in terms of real-life environmental protection, where tree farming, depending on how it's done, can be environmentally neutral or environmentally beneficial, you know, because you might be planting forests that might struggle otherwise in an area. However, clear-cutting, deforestation is not the problem with clear-cut logging, because the thing is that, like, with clear-cut logging, they replant the trees. The problem is environmental shock. Not environmental loss, because, again, they're replanting the trees. But if you cut, like, you know, take a big chunk of forest and just take it out, you are going to send a shock through, like, that ecosystem, because, you know, all these animals are going to be displaced. Animals displaced, insects displaced. Just like, you know, erosion patterns are going to change because of, you know, like where the roots are versus where the roots are after you cut all the trees down. You know, they're dead, but, you know, they're dead, you know. It's like roots help with erosion a lot. If you're dealing with dead roots, then they're still going to be there in the soil, but if they're flexible and they're regrowing constantly, that's going to be a different scenario than if they're old and brittle and, you know, aren't going to regrow once they break. It's a shock, even if you're just clear cutting a small patch, and they're not just clear cutting a small patch, they're clear cutting all of these patches. It does have, you know, effects down the line. And so what do you want to do with that in mind is not clear cut, you know? It's better to kind of be chopping down single trees that are, like, you know, marked for chop down. And sort of keep the tree grove as a continuous environment, you know? Not one that is intermittently devastated. Although logging in general, this is a misconception that I think has been mostly put down by this point. Like I think that most people are aware of this at this point, but the biggest thing for deforestation, habitat loss from uh, human activity, biggest thing by far is animal agriculture, industrial scale animal agriculture. Like it's not even close. Like not even. It is. It's insane. Like you. Like I don't know if I can exaggerate it. It's most of the problem with our land use period is animal agriculture. If we stop eating cows, I'm not kidding, 80% of our problems with habitat loss are solved. We still have some. That 20%, I might be exaggerating a little bit with 80%, it might be more like 60%. The point is, the margins of habitat loss caused by uh, animal agriculture are completely ridiculous, especially cattle. Cattle take up so much room, and they take up, not only do they take up room just to store and graze the cattle, but a lot of the times you need to grow feed. You need to grow grain as like feed for cattle, because you know you can't graze them on grass in their paddocks 100% of the time. There's too many cows. And like growing feed for animal agriculture takes up like a significant amount of our cropland. Like a significant amount is just food not grown for humans, grown for cattle. I don't have my O on me. Whoops. Yeah, so no, if you take out that, you solve a lot of the problem. Bada bing, bada boom, right there. No other changes needed, no other radical shifts. Just stop eating beef. You can still have chicken. Chicken does, cause a little bit of land use, but chickens can be raised in a freaking backyard, Even on an industrial scale, you don't want to industrialize chickens for other reasons. It's like, the thing is that, like, it's an interesting thing where basically animal cruelty, like, is... if I was a more superstitious man, I would say that industrial animal agriculture is cursed before God. Legitimately because of the fact that, like, in terms of disease mitigation, in terms of just the health of the industrial animal agriculture is just cursed. It's just cursed. You have so much more problem with disease. You have so much more problem with poor animal health. You've got so many more problems with this, that, and the other thing because of the way that we grow animals for livestock, right? Like, like one of the problems they talk about is that they put a lot of antibiotics in the animals, and people freak out about that. That is something to be concerned about. The real reason to be concerned about it is that if you benefit from the antibiotics that are in your meat, as in those antibiotics are also used by your body. And that means that if you eat a lot of meat that has a lot of antibiotics, you constantly have an elevated amount of antibiotics in your system. And the problem with that is that the diseases you're exposed to get used to that. And now the ability of, like, those antibodies to be effective against the diseases they're supposed to fight, which antibiotics, the antibiotics that we give to animals are pretty broad spectrum, the effectiveness is reduced, right? So now the antibiotics aren't as good at their job as they were before because they're constantly in your system from eating all of this meat. It's crazy, folks. Anyway, the point is that McDonald's is the devil. Anyway. No, but for real, the like cattle industry, which is like the main problem, is like shored up by government subsidy. This was like a massive multi-generational project by American industry planners, mainly the government. where the idea was that they were going to boost the American cattle industry as much as possible because we had all this land that wasn't really good for cropland, so we're gonna put cows on it. And like, if you've ever heard of government cheese, that's a funny story I'll tell in a minute. But yeah, no, if you remove those subsidies, it would be a massive economic shock to large swaths of the country. You basically turn like an entire section of the Midwest into one big West Virginia. So you gotta introduce mitigating factors. You gotta it's tough to move away from a major industry. You could do it, but it requires a lot of precise planning and actually like working with the people who are going to be affected, even though they despise you. But it's possible. You can do it. It's possible. You know? But anyway, yeah, no, government cheese. If you've ever heard the term government cheese, that typically is a euphemism for welfare. And the reason why is because for a while you used to get free cheese with welfare. And it's like, why cheese? And the answer is because in order to boost profits to the cattle industry, specifically the dairy industry, the government bought up massive amounts of milk that dairy farmers were producing but weren't able to sell at enough of a profit to keep their businesses open. So, you know, they bought up a strategic reserve of milk, which is actually not a bad thing to do. It's a good idea for governments to buy up strategic reserves of resources that they can then dole out to people who are in need in times of crisis. Like, for instance, if they're on welfare. But the question was, okay, milk spoils, what are we going to do? Well, cheese also spoils, but it lasts so much longer. So we're going to turn this milk into cheese. And so there were literally bunkers, I think former bunker facilities, that were turned into massive cheese aging facilities that the government stored massive quantities of literal cheddar in from all of this, I gotta make another bundle. I don't have the resources to make a bundle. These are both looted. Okay, this wouldn't even be worth it. Alright, hang on. Let's make a barrel. I have more chests. Let's just use those. I'm such a guy when it comes to this stuff. I really am. I'm such a guy. I'm such a fella. Alright. Biological goes in one, geological goes in the other. We're sorting here, folks. We're gonna do one bundle per. Let's empty here. Ba-bam, bam, bam, bam. Bam, ba-bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam? Ba-bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, ba-bam, bam. I'm sure that's very entertaining what I'm doing. Anyway, I need to empty this one too. Where'd I put the other one? Where'd I go just now? I had two, and now I have one. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Your biological, bio. Alright. So, where was I? Yeah, so government cheese is a thing. Yeah, write your congressman sometime. Bring it up with your parents sometime. Be like, the cattle industry. Because of the political climate we're in, the cattle industry is woke. They exist on government subsidies. They should pull themselves up by their bootstraps, folks. Never let me say folks like that again. You all know what I'm doing. I shouldn't do it. Oh, right, I have a fire there. Alright, anything I want to bundle up right now? Let's bundle all of the seeds. Do we have something to... Right. The thing about bundles is they don't like stacks. They're really good for just gathering scraps of stuff. I need to make a composter. Yeah, that's one of the things I need to make. Composters are great, man. I love composters in this game. It is a really inefficient way of getting bone meal. However, bone meal is still useful, and Otherwise, the vast quantities of just like environmental scrap you accrue just go to waste. I'm gonna leave that there. That's good for fuels. Let me put the fuels in there. That's really the only fuel I have right now. You could hear what I was saying. It was very loud. All right, we're actually coming up on the hour mark. Oh, I forgot I had this. Let us do the pièce de résistance, the French thing with Frenching, the Frenchinates. Making, bam, the compass. All right, I don't know how lodestones work. Let me look up how real quick. I'm Googling it. This is how you play Minecraft. You Google things, folks. If anybody ever tells you not to Google things in Minecraft when you don't know what they are, what you do is you get a fish, you get a raw fish, and you kind of like you really got to put some effort into it. But you hold the fish by the tail. You got to do it very tightly because fish are slippery, like raw fish are slippery. It's got to be unscaled and whole, by the way. And you just slap them right in the face with the raw fish. And that's what you do to somebody who tells you not to okay, so I have to all right, all I have to do is place the lodestone and then place the lodestone and then do the thing to the thing. Let's put the lodestone somewhere scenic. I just got to click the lodestone with the compass to permanently fix it to the compass. Yeah, no, but like the way you do this game, they have the crafting recipe book next to the thing now. I'm gonna do it right here. It makes my there you have it, folks. Pointing to the lodestone. So that means that I could go basically anywhere and I have a direct beacon back to home base. Which is good. I need that. And by the way, let's get settled up for Minecraft. I'm going to take a short break. And then we're going to disco all over our Elysiums. But yeah, what the hell was I saying? I completely lost track of where I was going with this. Let's cut down some bamboo. Screw it. We're gonna do one more little thing. Little thing. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. 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 We're not. There's no mission creep happening here, folks. Government cheese, cattle industry. Yeah, it's. I don't know. That's about it. Saving thought. We have a lack of one of the things we have a lack of in the modern world is local agriculture. That is local farms that serve local communities, and I mean real local. You know, a place where their primary clientele are people down the road that they see face to face on a regular basis. We don't have a lot of that these days, and I think that that mode of production, it has its benefits in vegetable agriculture, especially for certain vegetables. However, I think the real niche that it could adapt for is a more environmentally sustainable form of animal agriculture, where instead of eating meat with every meal, which is really not healthy and we haven't done it for most of history, you eat meat like once every couple of days as like, you know, the special thing for the week or for the couple of days, right? And you get it from a guy you know, from like a butcher shop, and the butcher shop gets it from a guy he knows, and that guy is local. And that guy who's local does not produce nearly enough animal product to keep an entire city fed, but he doesn't have to. There's like 6 or 7 of him in your just area of your big city, and they just serve the local butcher shops, and you eat a fraction of the volume of meat that current people eat today. However, you're healthier for it because it's healthier to have a low, you don't have to go vegetarian, but a low meat diet versus what we have now is just very high in meat and it's high in cholesterol and there's all these health problems that come of that. It's blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's my final environmentalist civic planning ramble. We're gonna listen to the music for a minute. Of course. Excuse me. All right. We're going to take a short break. Be back in 5 minutes. So that will be 6:35, just about 7:35. We're operating on time here. All right. Save and quit the title. All right. Peace out. Back at 5. We have returned. We are returned. All right. So, I need to remember what it is I was doing. Look at this. See this? Disgraceful. Look at him. He's a wretched little beast. All right. Let's see here. I still haven't gotten to the Rolling in Pines rep. All right. I still haven't done that either. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We got to do the visual inspection. Or the close-up autopsy now that this body is down from the tree. By the way, if for some reason this is your first Disco Elysium stream that you're watching, and you're tuning into my stream for the first time and you're seeing this, first of all, go back and watch my VODs. I have all of this that I've done so far. But basically, I'm an amnesiac. This guy's awesome. We love Kim.
Yes.
See, look at this guy. This is immaculate. This is what peak performance looks like. Okay, if you're a guy and you look like this, I don't even want to say what you're capable of. Okay, you have aura. You have riz. Okay, you are knocking them dead. But anyway, leave for now. There we go. This guy's dead. He was hanging from this tree. Now he's not, because we got a big racist to come over here and knock him down. Don't worry about it. I beat him up. I beat up the big racist. That's the important part. He deserved it. He deserved it. Anyway, this kid's an asshole. This city's falling apart, but like kind of coming back. It fell apart more before. Anyway, point is, somebody murdered this guy. We probably know who it is, but we don't quite know who it exactly is yet. We know who he's friends with. But yeah, let's inspect the body for more clues. Right, let's go.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
I'm going to run the risk of turning up the volume a little more.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
All right. Okay, here we go. All right, tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Yeah, let's not go down this line of questioning.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
It's not creepy at all. What are you talking about? All right, I'm just gonna have to click around to figure out where we are at.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk to him a little bit more in a minute. Let's see here. That's the thing, I forget where I was, damn it. So we haven't filled out the forms. Alright, I think that's...
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
We're going to have to go back over this, I think.
Fine. It's a 3-part form to be filled out on the scene by the detectives responsible. One takes note, the other dictates. The goal is to establish cause of death. A scalpel is not always required. I hope this is one of those cases. Latex gloves are, however. I hope we do. It's getting really late for an autopsy.
Yeah, he's been hanging from this for a couple of days. I think that, if I recall correctly, yeah, I don't have my... I know what I need to do here. Okay. So... Again, for first timers, I played through the beginning of this game like two or
This
three times.
trash
at this point.
container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags.
I know that my forms that I need for this autopsy are in this dumpster. However, I've been able to get it open in the past with just like wrenching it open, but this time I need the key, which I have. Hooray!
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobocop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content.
Let's see about this premonition I had.
There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
Open it.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
I mean, yeah, it's a dumpster.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Oh, we love familiarity.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
I mean, you can't beat those turbo noodles, man. You really can't. Alright, pick the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Lovely.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Faint, he says. Well, I guess it's relative, Kim.
Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Let's reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Lovely.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
I might be able to hear the water I'm drinking. I'm sorry about that.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Want to talk to Kuno? Do I want to talk to Kuno? Fuck it.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
I hate this one more. She's worse. Look at her. That does have aura, but it's a smelly aura. It's a putrid aura. I hate it. I hate looking at her.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Let's go.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
Let's see. What is it?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Let's get it.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Looks like we found your paperwork.
I don't know what it is.
It is. Look. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, How did this get in the trash?
What do I want to say? I always want to say the most unhinged thing. It's the most fun. It must have been cramping my style.
Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations, and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style, for all our sakes.
I don't want to fight Kim. I can't fight Kim. Look at that face. Trust that face, okay? I'll do that, alright?
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
You know what I'm gonna do, because I know what's gonna happen when I do this, because the same thing's happened every time.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny. Never mind. Look at that fat string of archipelagon pearls snaking amidst the banana peels. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself. That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings.
Yeah, I've heard those descriptions of those items so many times. I just like how they've, like, really gone into the... I mean, the thing is that, like, it's as easy as just making up words, really, you know? Like, you need to know... I'll talk about this later when I'm not going through trash. Let's see, let's really dig in. Maybe there's something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
Really?
Interesting. Reminds me of the mug collection we saw in our weasel's apartment. Maybe he or she has been dumping their garbage here. Or it may just be a coincidence. Either way, something to keep in mind. What else do you see?
Well,
The
it's a little-
container sounds a muffled gong.
Yeah, that little mug is useful because you could use it to make people uncomfortable.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
If you don't beat up the racist and instead take a little bit of racism yourself, which is the other option, unfortunately, you can kind of, like, you know, think that this mug is funny. It comes up more in dialogue. But yeah, no, you just, like, recognize this is kind of a racist image. If you beat up the racists. And it's you know, look at that bucktooth and grinning feeble-mindedly. You know, it's interesting because it's a caricature that both we, living in the real world, can understand, but also makes sense given this world. Those syncretisms are nice. Another one, and I just love the level of detail with the pants, right? The branding of it, it's like guitar brand. It's a pretty generic thing you might see in the real world, but it still paints an image of, like, that plus the wide belt. Knowing things that I know about the murdered guy that you don't know yet, it paints an image of a person, right? It really, I can understand, like, what this guy would do, excuse me, on an open afternoon with, like, 2 weeks' pay in his pocket. It would involve booze and thinking about how he could have been a musician if he just applied himself. Yeah. Point is, I like this game. Let's interact with this.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Cool. Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard.
I don't like that it's raining and damp here and cold, because that means it's still wet. I hate that.
It's a metaphor for you.
Well, thank you, narrator voice, you piece of shit.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
All right, let's inspect. We're not inspecting the toilet paper. Let's browse the papers. Let's just go for broke here.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Let's talk about the naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Let's see. Let's see what they're like.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Cool. I wonder what that one's about. I actually do wonder, what is that one about?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
Wonderball.
You like this grimy murdering, don't you?
Or maybe I do, Half-Light. What's it to you?
Wish there was one in there about a drug then. You love those. Gets the blood pumping.
Well, also thank you, electrochemistry, you pervert.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Cool. Alright, let's see here. Let's talk to Kim about the naming convention. I'm gonna waste some time here.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Wonder why.
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
So let's talk about the square bullet hole murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Oh, that sucks. Alright. Let's see. Let's see if I have enough for taking notes on this case.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
It's committed to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
Cool.
Inspect the victim's body.
Nice.
Get the body down.
We did it.
Interview the cafeteria manager. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Let's see if Kim's named it first.
No, actually. Any ideas?
Let's go with the most unhinged one. The Furies at Home in the Mirror. I don't know. I think he's referring to the fact that I looked in the mirror earlier, but that has nothing to do with the case. Anyway, let's do it.
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also,
He furrows his brow.
could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
We're doing the setting sun.
Okay, it's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so... something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
All right. I don't have another one. I don't even want to do these two.
Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one.
Let me guess. The Hanged Man.
Oh, that's actually what I was thinking. The Hanged Man. I like that. A good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Kim, you... I can't stay mad at the man. All right. Close case
You
files.
don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Let's do the yellow papers. I want to do this eventually, but... Look at that. It's low. Get away.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out.
See what type of forms
3.
they are.
The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
See the misconduct file?
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
A station call?
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Cool. Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Thank you, physical instrument, you pervert. Field autopsy. Look, Kim.
Good, yes. We can return to the dead body. By now, it smells exquisite.
All right.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better.
Oh, that's nice. I was already at full health, but thank you, Authority.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper.
Cool. All right. There's more to see, but for now, we're going to move on. All right. So yeah, something to admit here is that I am trying to kind of like wind out the day. So I'm going to take my time with things because I've had the problem where I get to Tuesday and the lock at the canal is not repaired yet. And by the way, okay, do I have it? Do I have it? I don't. Okay, something I got before and I forgot if I had it now is a ball. If I
The
find that
rotting man
ball,
lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
real quick, if I find that ball, I know what to do with the ball. I know. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Field autopsy, baby!
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists. describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
All right, we're gonna do the whole thing, folks. We're gonna do a field autopsy, 100% run. Let's go.
That's you.
I'm the autopsy. Wonderful. All right, we're gonna write a fancy name and pick for myself.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says,
Coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
Nice.
Next,
Name.
NA. Next,
We don't know the name.
NA.
We don't know the date of birth.
Roughly 50.
Roughly 50.
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook,
Wonderful.
teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
I'm glad you described that in great detail, Endurance.
Mondial.
He's Mondial, and that's the race. There's another thing I like about this. They really go into the naming the different races and even sub-races to the point where you can tell that if Kim was in our world, you'd call him Asian. But no, he's not. I don't even remember what they call the region of the world that he's from, right? It's confusing in a good way. Anyway,
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
thank you for that.
Fucky, fucky!
Thank you for that, you little... This girl, I swear to God.
Male.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Alright. Male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Day of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
Alright.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment. Let's go!
None. At least not after the initial examination.
Alright.
A strange word. Treatment.
Alright. What is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
Thank you, authority.
Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
These two are arguing. You gotta see Volition is authority with his head turned a little bit. It looks like that a little bit. Not quite. Alright. Because I agree with this, lividity points to a lynching.
Then again, the right lividity is easy to produce if you know what you're doing.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident, the small one. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Real quick, that I've done this once or twice, and I've only seen that spit the cops part once, and like I don't know. I think it's it's well done. Uh, let's just go on.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Oh, shut up.
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Are you gonna get them? I do what I don't think I'm asking Kim that.
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
I'm not gonna touch the corpse's hair.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Nice. So this is the one insert from Kuno that I kind of like, because who gives a shit? But anyway, let's let him have his fun, you know? High
Ligature
velocity.
mark.
Ligature mark.
Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
Let's try.
It's no use. We should get chain cutters. You can try with them. I have a pair in the toolbox of my kinema. Damn
Right.
corpse. We had a good rhythm going.
We upset the rhythm. Can't upset the rhythm. Alright. Do I have the chain cutters on me right now? No. Let's go to the, let's go to Kim's car. I think the number one thing that really sells, the way that this game does, like, our world but different really well is the design of the cars. Like, look at this thing. If you see very early cars, this is a sensible evolution of what they would if they hadn't gone a different way, this is what they would eventually turn into. If they had kept aspects of how they were designed in the early days. And there's even advantages to this. This design is... Like, honestly, there's elements to it that are more pedestrian-friendly than cars that we have. You're going to be able to see things that are right in front of you, like between the wheels sitting in that seat. Whereas cars with, like, front engines, you have to see over the engine. There's, like, a gap where you could just, like, bowl over a toddler and not even realize. It's, like... It's goofy, but it's thought out. It's... You know, things are very similar, but this is different. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about it. Bam. Let's go get some chain cutters.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Now let's just use the
A
toolbox.
metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The handles are
cutters.
long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand.
All right.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Let's get out of here. All right, back to the dead body. Let's go! By the way, just like... the vibes of this game are immaculate. I'm glad you like thinking, kid. You should do more of it, and less
The rotting
cocaine.
man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Cool.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Alright. Let's use these chain cutters.
Mm-hmm. Cut with as much precision as you can, please.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Tell Kuno to fuck off.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Concentrate on the belt, not on who is whose pig. There is no pig. There are only the chain cutters and the belt.
I'm gonna actually fucking shoot this kid later, I swear to God. In Minecraft, in Disco Elysium.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
Cool. Alright. Let's do this! Eh.
After
Yes.
some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
This game is a good example of how just very simple RPG systems can work well with good writing. More complex mechanics can be fun in your sort of like TTRPG style RPGs, but sometimes you just like want to do very simple dice rolls plus some of the best writing that there is in a video game. Alright, let's go.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
What a way to describe that.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! It's gonna happen, see?
These kids need, like, video games or cartoons or something to do with their time.
I fucking knew it!
Shut up.
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Cool.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain, that new little tenderness in life.
So just in case you don't know, you again are like 3, in which case why are you watching the stream? But like don't know what things are. They're talking about old injuries. This guy was a war veteran.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
All right, body of a soldier, like I said.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Let the lieutenant work. I'm not touching that.
Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle.
Were we expecting one?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
Right.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
You don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
This is brilliant at making you uncomfortable, especially because these 2 kids are here. And let's be real, like, in this environment, like, this is not... Like, I don't know, you know, like, there's part of you that wants to be like, what are these kids doing here? This isn't realistic. Kids aren't like this. They're like this, though. They're like this, you know? Like, kids in the right environment act like this. It's whacked out. It's very uncomfortable, which, you know, it's trying to be. It succeeds, man. It succeeds. Like, oh, man, the description's here.
Respiratory system.
All right.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Writing that down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Let's ask why.
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
No, I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
All right.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both of them?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
The completionist me wonders if there's something we could still do. Yeah, let's do that.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
All right.
Brimming with cocaine.
Thank you, electrochemistry. Let's write down.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging.
Wonderful.
Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feels. Leave a 4th one too.
All right. What's the first field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Okay.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Okay.
And your opinion, officer?
Let's see. Predation by birds. Nah, it's not fatal.
Agreed. Next injury?
Ligature mark. No, contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Post-mortem.
Right. Next,
Ligature mark.
a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start.
Lovely.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Alright, how did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
So we're never gonna get it. Anyway.
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Nah.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
So rip out a
For
couple
processing.
things.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Let's see. Here's the thing. If I let him take the body away, I can't get the boots. Also, I do want to get everything I can out of this. So this is not going to work at all. But we're going to try it. Let's go.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Let's look at his pants again.
You pull down his breeches. Marbling is present around the crotch. The penis has
Yeah.
shrunk, crawling halfway back inside him. There is nothing mysterious or noteworthy here.
Alright, let's move on.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Fuck you.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
There's something we're not seeing.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Alright, where do we find a fridge?
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if all else fails.
Fun.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
I am definitely gonna shoot you now because you just called Kim a name, okay? When I get a gun, I am going to shoot you.
Only if all else fails.
Not fatally. Not fatally. But I'm gonna injure him, okay? Kneecap, alright? Alright, let's hurry then.
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Lovely. Okay, let's tend to something here. Alright. Do I have anything to... Okay, we're working on being a communist. That's what we're working on here. Look at that hammer. But, I'm gonna level this up. Just because, like, I can't level up anymore, so might as well close it out. Except changes in close. Nice. What's new here? Chain cutters, that's it. Okay, that's chain cutters. Alright. Okay, let us go. I'm gonna do something stupid that I shouldn't do, and I'm gonna ask Kuno first about finding a fridge. Hi, little shit.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
Okay, just because he's racist doesn't mean you can be racist to him, Kuno. Come on.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Yeah, lovely, you little pervert. Okay.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaught.
I need a fridge to stash the body.
For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
I thought you would. Where is it?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
Okay. Okay. I don't care if you're watching this live or in the VOD. Pray for me.
Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job is on the line. He'll sympathize.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
No, it's not weakness. It's sincere. Do not confuse sincerity with weakness. Say it. Trust me.
Fuck.
The fuck are you doing right now? The fuck is this shit?
Fun.
Don't pay attention to him. Just keep telling your sad story.
Alright, we're falling at this kid's feet, which is a bad idea.
It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing.
Kuno's never seen anything so lame. Listen, pig. If you were Kuno, the fuck would you care?
Yeah, I'm fucking... You lied to me. Voice inside my head.
You just haven't done it long enough. You need to do it even longer.
See, sad shit? Kuno doesn't fucking care about this sad shit. Your sad shit.
I love this. This is great. I don't love this. This is horrible. Fucking... I hate this kid. Again,
Now, how about you at least try to entertain the Kuno, or get the fuck off his crime scene?
Why don't we go pester some other kids now?
Yeah, no, we're not talking to Kuno anymore. I do wanna try this. Actually, not right now.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Fuck off. Alright, let's go ask some more people. That was a mistake. I know where the fridge is, but I don't wanna actually just go to it. Because the reason why I know where the fridge is because I played this before. I wanna figure out where the fridge is. Alright. Kuno didn't tell us. Oh, shit. I hate that kid. If this was in real life, I'd like to think that I would just kind of like pick him up by like the back of his shirt and an ankle and just throw him. I'd like to think that would happen.
Can I help you?
That wouldn't happen. Alright, we need a fridge, buddy.
Yes, yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead corpse into my fridge, right?
Correct him.
No.
You're lying. You're not putting a dead body into my fridge.
I'm gonna say this to him. I'm gonna make him feel bad. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna do it anyway.
This is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. You don't have to ask me why you can't store a dead body in my kitchen.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No. The answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus.
Wow. Turn the lieutenant off like he was a busted old radio. He really is the lord of his realm.
Let's go talk to the frit clerk.
Alright. I will say that because I want to put the body in the fridge, even if they don't tell me where it is, because I know I'm going to do it. But I want to see if I can actually get the information to make this a consistent, like, you know, no cheats playthrough. You know what I mean? Alright, everybody, we're going at Fritz. Let's look at these magazines real quick. I haven't done that yet. Glossy magazine, the most able-bodied men. Interesting. A lot less dialogue options from that one. Ignore him. He's an asshole. Alright, let's go ask this teenage girl if we can put a dead body in her store.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, you act that way. I'm sure that you actually have some intelligence. But anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right behind you.
So you do have a fridge. Wicked.
Yeah.
You store a corpse in there.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not joking. I need to store a dead body in a fridge. Let's commit.
Okay. It wouldn't even fit, you know.
Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse.
Would have been beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope that she goes to college and actually applies herself. She seems alright. Like, she's better than this guy. She deserves better things in life than this guy. Fuck this guy. We called Kib a mean name, which is the worst thing you can do in this game. Alright. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to talk to the kid one more time. And if not... Alright. If this doesn't give me an option here, then we're just gonna do it.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Alright, then we're just gonna find the fridge ourselves. I don't know why I was turning around like that. So I know where it is, we just gotta get there. We do have to get past a small business owner, potentially. I don't know if I've been there yet in this playthrough. I don't think I can go through here. Correct. Alright. We have to, unfortunately, we have to do another dreadful thing. A horrible thing. A thing that I shouldn't be forced to do, but I am. We have to talk to a small business owner. I'm not going to talk to this kid. I could. I'm not going to. It's kind of depressing, frankly. Alright. Hi. How are you, crazy lady?
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Cool. Screw it, I'm gonna go full hobo cop. Please give me some money.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor.
Wonderful.
One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
You see what I said? Small business brain.
What is this insolence? She misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm gonna go full metal. We're doing the side quest, folks.
Now, hey there. Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they bring into this space. Tribute, power. These are not the traditions we're used to in this part of the world.
Fun. Well, I mean, she says that, but you guys had a king, like, not very long ago. Like, he's in living memory. Anyway. We have to go back here. Which is going to be difficult because...
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
What's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Let's look at the trinket real quick.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Fun.
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut
pull 'em
before
open.
you. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Let's play into her BS.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
All right, well, yeah.
Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown.
Lies. Rip them open, we say.
I agree, Half-Life.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful.
You're always a naysayer. Giant sphere head.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Cool. Hair dryers. Yeah, I agree. Oh, androgynous man. My masculinity feels threatened.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Cool.
What if you just break it down?
Maybe I should strategize.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed. Steady breathing, solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear.
Nice.
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
Let's do it. Ah! Ow.
Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Oh, okay. That was not my best idea.
Are you alright? This looked pretty intense and painful, I must admit.
What is going on there? Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits or you'll damage the holy wards on the door.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens of little charms and trinkets.
Right. Let's try to get her to open it. Because I do need to get in there.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
Let's try this.
You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go to them.
What if I want to buy a book?
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See those shelves there? Go. Be drawn.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Ah. I don't like the situation I'm in now. Also, why is the ring stuck on? Okay, there it goes. Alright.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Screw it.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Damn.
A
Okay.
heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds.
Okay, so I can't even get in there until... Damn. Damn, 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 damn. Damn, damn, damn. Let's actually peruse, because here's the thing. I don't have enough money to buy anything, but these books actually...
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
What's this?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down.
I agree.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Cool. There's actually something worth buying here.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that.
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
Let's buy it.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
We'll leave. Okay, so this is actually useful because this is the game map. Bam. Look at that. We now have a game map. Yeah, so we got... What do we got? Here's where we are now. We're in this building. Why did that disappear? Oh. We got the horse monument. We got whatever this is. I don't know what this is yet. Where's the... Oh, yeah, this is the shack with the lock bridge. I think... You can see that, like, you know, because it's drawn from isometric, things don't quite line up. You know? There's the harbor. And then there's this stuff that we haven't been to yet. And then there's this BS. If you know, you know. Oh, this tells you where different checks are. That little. Right. Anyway, I want to see what this giant egg is. You can tell you've got the city, and then you've got kind of this this like tourist area here, this sort of more old city area. And then I don't want to know what these are. I do want to know. I don't want to know it quite yet. They look mean. It's very cheery how you have these massive tidal waves and then this messery. Alright, I'm gonna see if that has opened up any more checks with Plaisance so she can actually open the goddamn door. So I need to get in there! Hello.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime.
Nope. I don't even want to hear her. You see what I said about the horror, the pain of talking to a small business owner? It's torture. It really is.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you.
All right. If I put another point into physical instrument, maybe I can break that down. Although I need a point. I need a point. Which, okay. I don't know how close I am to one. It's the thing. I don't know if it really tells you that. Alright. Let's heal myself a little bit. I'll take some damage. That's what happens when you talk to Kuno, you take damage. And also ram yourself into a door. I have to do something with this. Hang on.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front. But the documents inside the envelope still lack the required signatures.
See, if you don't know, the union boss wants me to get signatures. But screw it, I'm just gonna mail the envelope with the signatures and not get them. I don't care if that screws me over later, but...
It's not going to be that easy. We need to dirty our hands with the signatures. I assume that's the goal here.
I've done playthroughs where I can just slip a thing in the mailbox, no problem. What was the thing? Oh yeah, we need to go talk to a lady. So we do need to go wandering and talk to a lady. What lady are we talking to? Yes. So you see, one of the things we need to do. Let's see. Yeah, there's a rep for the company. We think that the union was involved in the killing. The union down at the docks. And the company that owns the docks, they have a rep here for the strike that's ongoing with the union. So we gotta go talk to them. And I happen to know where they are. Look at that cormorant. Oh, hey, look, blood. Except it's not really. And then you get this aura farmer right here. I'll talk to them later. Looks like there was more construction here decades ago. I do like the scenery. It's run down, but it's got a beauty to it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, hey. Stuff. Nice. I need that for later, probably. To talk to Kuno again. Hello, wealthy lady.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Cool. What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Lovely.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk?
I'm drunk. I'm a police officer.
Of course you're not. It was only a joke.
We're getting off of the wrong foot here. No
I'm
handshake.
glad to see you here.
She is unfazed by your rudeness, probably chalking it up to local custom.
Lovely.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
Lovely.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
Let's talk about Wild Pines.
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
What do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money do they have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
ExxonMobil if they were Amazon. Got it. Wonderful. Great. No notes. No problems. Let's go.
A billion?
A billion? What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What's it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
That's it?
And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions. Wild Pines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where do they get all those billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Lovely.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Lovely. And yeah, what are they doing in this post-war wreck?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
That's quite an endeavor.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Let's just move right on to the lynching.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
Cool.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Lovely.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I have amnesia!
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
I could have eaten it.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
Lovely.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
I'm sorry for that. Really? My mic is good at filtering so many sounds, but doesn't filter the water.
Of course, I
Crazy.
sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Alright. Okay. What kind of arrangement would that be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
Cool. Let's try it. Pray for me.
Easy.
Nice.
Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Alright. Let's do it.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Let's go over here to talk, Kim.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did I hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
I thought it was going well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
What if I do find my badge?
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
Alright. Do we propose we don't handle trafficking investigation?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Picking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the party pipeline. Why would you want to shut that down?
Through the terminal. So let's keep the investigation going.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
I gotta need my bolt cutters for this.
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock,
They're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
I wonder if it's a coincidence that the lorries are stranded here like this.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
When they come to the RCM earlier.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
Alright, let's proceed.
Yes?
Accept.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
I'm gonna beg her for money.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes.
What nice clothing.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
I'm not ashamed.
Oh, but you are. Too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Ur-Denil. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Alright. Money.
Voila, you're doing it. Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs.
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring all of it with me.
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she somehow knows more about your predicament than she's letting on?
I'm gonna ask her for all the money I need, which is this much.
That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large.
She removes a few notes
Nice.
and hands them to you. The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
Whoa, whoa. Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown.
You're not very smart. I'm just gonna skip that.
Can you eat honor? Are you an omnivore? Give me a break.
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I'm still getting a hold of this whole concept. You're just helping me out.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
That's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Share the tattoo later. Alright, we're about 2.5 hours in. I really am not... I don't have the stamina for long streams yet. I've been working on getting up to it, but... You know. Nice. So it's nice. I'll be able to develop another one of these soon. And furthermore, okay. So we have a little bit of a crisis, but we have another crisis solved. The other crisis that was solved is, I needed that 100. I needed that 100, to not have to sleep outside tonight. I think I hadn't settled it with Garth yet, if I recall correctly. Anyway, the point is that we gotta find a way to get the frickin' fridge open. Hopefully tonight. Maybe the body will have to be in the body will have to be in the courtyard until tomorrow morning. Hopefully nothing happens to it. You know, we'll take a gander. We're gonna take a stab at getting those boots off tonight either way. But yeah, that's all for today. That's all for today. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to everybody that participated. This was a good one. I'm glad to finally get back to this. I'm glad to finally get back to this. It's been too long. So many things have been happening. But anyway, until then, ba-bam. Wait. Hang on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Are you not? There we go. Okay. That was weird. Alright. There we are. We successfully done an outro. It's wonderful. Nothing bad happened. Alright. See y'all later.